intro.
Oh,
actually,
actually,
you got anything queued up there, Rick?
no, but I can do one quickly. I can do one quickly.
I don't know what's going on with my X, but Twitter. But when I open Twitter, it says "Welcome to X," and there's nothing there. So all my following people are gone. Are you guys? All my posts are gone. Is this just a?
Twitter's been acting weird this whole week.
Yeah,
I just looked just now, and all my stuff was blocked.
Yeah. Like, are we even live right now? I can't even tell.
Maybe we are.
Maybe
It's
we are.
Buddha from DeFi Space Donkeys, powered by weed on Solana. Get yourself a bag of weed.
Yeah, buddy.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome. Let's get this thing going.
Man, I don't know what is going on. Twitter. Oh,
Everything's acting weird.
it seems like it's just a normal thing for them to be down lately. Like,
I think, yeah, it seems like it's par for the course. Like there's something down every single day or something wrong every single day.
yeah, all my posts are gone, bro. I don't have any
Yeah,
posts.
me too.
It says just reload. It won't do anything.
So
Yeah.
there's actually a site you can go look at. I always go and check it out. Let's see how bad.
To see what the Twitter outage is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So here's the.
Like, is there even anybody on Twitter watching us right now? Because is Twitter just down that bad?
Well, sometimes it works. Sometimes it works out that more people tune in because they can't scroll the timeline, so they look for like somewhere to just go and chill a bit.
Just click on whatever's live. All right, what do we got here?
Let's see. Oh, look at that spike!
Wow.
Look at that spike!
That looks like a big.
Boom!
What is that number at the top?
Yep, it looks.
Is that all the complaints?
12,461.
Yeah, that's how many people have just reported
in the last 24 hours. And what was the last spike?
Right, I'll refresh it. Watch this. 15,000.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Can you do like a month chart? And I want to see how that compares.
No, they don't let you, bro. I wish
they only do a 24-hour.
Yeah, I wish they really should give you like a month's thing to show you because
we want more data.
Like nothing is working. My messages aren't working. My notifications aren't working. I go to my profile. I have 0 posts. I go to Actually, it's showing me following and followers, but it wasn't a second ago. Like
it loads some stuff, but it just takes it like a third time. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, you just have to keep hitting refresh.
I'm curious, how does this sound with this new computer here? Like this is for science.
For science.
Can't hear it, right? All right.
Not bad.
Not bad at all, bro.
Yeah. Is that Lindsey Sterling?
This is Clay John, the Trap Violist.
You told me about him.
He's a DeFi space donkey.
That's cool. How do you spell it? I'm gonna look him up.
CLEJAN.
Hey Sean, musical artist. There you go. That's cool. I'm gonna pop that into my my Spotify.
Hey Pinky.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. We're trying to work through these Twitter issues. Pinky, hello, Luna Bellaboo. Luna Bellaboo, I'm on X. All right. So it's working, I guess. I don't know, man.
Let's go.
I don't even.
If you guys are struggling, go and have a look at Abstract. We are streaming there too, YouTube as well.
Let's go. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Supposedly, I'm streaming to Telegram. Wait, hold on. Am I streaming to Telegram? I don't know. Maybe I am.
I was thinking about just pulling up another phone for that.
Yeah. All right, Crypto Stoner should be joining us a little bit later today. For now, he's in Rick's background. Rick, show him your background, bud.
It looks great.
There's Rick. There's DeFi Space Donkeys. There's I'm sorry, Rick. There's MSC and Crypto Stoner, and then there's a ape at the bottom there. Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Happy 420-ish. Another episode of Higher Intelligence. We talk about all things kind of crypto, all things Web3, blockchain, crypto, meme coins, all the fun stuff, right? AI. I mean, we get it. Rick usually gives us some AI knowledge. We have a lot of stuff that we could talk about today. A lot. There's a lot going on. It's always, I think, best to kind of start with what is going on in the market. So, real quick, I'm just gonna share
my candles there.
Yeah,
a lot of pullback and liquidations.
Share my screen. Move y'all over. So Bitcoin is at 104,879. We're down, a little bit over the last week or so. Let me go to the 7-day. We topped out just above 110, so we're down a little bit. But, healthy market corrections are always good. We need crypto in here.
Stoner's actually just messaged me. He said he's just got home. I'm going to just message him the link.
All right, yeah. Tell him to jump in so we can do some TA for
us. Yeah,
because
I was gonna say it's nice how it held that resistance right there, like right at like 104, like 102, 104. Like there's a lot of resistance right there where it's kind of catching. I mean, we didn't slip down to the 90s at all. Like that's what I was a little bit worried about that potential. We had a pullback, but
it's crazy to think that less than 3 months ago we were near 76, and now we're 104, 105. This has been, it seems like it's been a wild year, but has it really been a wild year, or is this just, business as usual?
I feel like it's business as usual. I mean, last boom cycle, I rember waking up and just being like, everything was up, like double, triple, overnight. Yeah. It's like, what just happened? My wallet is huge.
So I think this is just business as usual, and we talk about a lot how crypto kind of changes your perception of reality, right? And where this is business as usual. This is what we're used to in this space. 7-day down 4% on a month.
Massive gains, massive losses. It's
this whipsaw effect, right? Solana was up at, where was Solana last week? Earlier this week, it was like 175, 180, right?
It almost yesterday. It was
right now?
It was at 175 yesterday.
Whoa. And then it dropped down, and now we're around 160. But again, this is like the new normal if you're in crypto, where
bro, remember the saying? What do they say about May?
Sell in May, go away.
It's what I'm worried about, bro. We literally on the last day. Day of May.
But if that happens, then like the Bitcoin fees aren't worth it to mine it.
True.
It's like, that's the thing, is every time that we have a cycle, it is boom or bust.
Yeah,
it's true, bro. Because the cost of making a Bitcoin goes up and up and up. So I think the cost right now is extremely high. So that's, it's,
so then what? So then what? Then what happens in the summer?
No, we'll be fine. I personally think we'll be fine. I think that this is just like another one of those pullbacks. I think it's also because of the tariff stuff that they've been talking about. Like, it's just like uncertainty. I think we come back, bro. I think we come back from this, and pretty quickly. I think that it will just be like a couple days, probably early next week. We'll be back. But I'm more looking at like the at the moment, I'm looking at like meme coins, man. Meme coins. I'm trying to see if there's going to be any sort of rotation because we always see like old season kick off.
Right.
But every time we've seen Bitcoin pull back, everything else pulls back harder. It's just crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So is this going to be an alt season summer? Is that what we're
I hope so, bro. I mean, there are still things that are up on the last 24 hours. Like Hyperliquid's up the last 24 hours. Not much. Kronos is up for some reason. But on the 7-day, if you look at the 7-day, SPX is still up 15%. TON is still up 8%. Uniswap's still up. Ethereum's flat at 0%. Virtual's protocol at 2%. So there's a couple of like stable ones. Man, it just I just hate that there's a saying "sell and may go away," and now we're in this situation.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that's not taking in consideration like all the different legal ramifications and the pending mass adoption. I feel like that cycle is kind of broken. Normally it would diminish in its volatility every time we have a halving, right?
Right.
It has to double up or it's not worth the fees required. So then they're going to eventually just go, okay, well, what we snapshot and fork?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, is the sell and may go away? Is that a self-fulfilling prophecy where everybody believes it, so it happens, or is it an actual thing? And when I think of that, sell and may go away, I think I'm more on the kind of institutional side. So does that apply to retail? I mean, does sell and may go away apply to retail because everyone's on their summer vacations? Or are you still with your phone, right? Are you still making trades and are you still like locked in and paying attention?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting, right?
Have you seen how hard Murad's been going on TikTok?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So all of a sudden his content started changing and I was like, why is he doing this like vertical video stuff? And then I was like, oh, he's doing fucking TikTok content.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
And like you just mentioned it, SPX is on the 7-day is up 14.6%.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it. Well, I'm looking at it thinking, bro, this can run, bro. Like if it's doing well right now, oh my god, bro, it could really pick up.
Because it's just under $1 billion market cap right now. It's at 966 million, and it hasn't been there since the beginning of the year. It was the last time that it was above $1 billion market cap. So for as hard as he's pushing, and is that the playbook now to get outside of crypto Twitter and go to TikTok and go to some of these other
bro,
platforms?
He wasn't anything like before that.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like anyone knew him on TikTok. So he's kind of just got his name from fucking grinding, right?
Right.
On TikTok. It's not like people, he had that initial following. So
yeah,
anyone can do it. That's the point.
Yeah.
Anyone could do it. Like that's the truth. Like if he can do it, anyone can do it. He looks like a nerdy guy, It's not like he's some good looking guy that people are gonna like gravitate towards. So it just goes to show that like, yeah, bro, if you go put yourself out there on different platforms, you can make it. I think that we just caught up in this bubble and we always scared to like leave this bubble, which is crazy.
Yeah. So,
by the way, X is down 100% at the moment.
So bad.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have like 100 and something people already tuned in is quite impressive.
I'm glad we got a few people on. All right, Crypto Stoners trying to jump in here.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Yo,
hey.
Crypto.
Yo.
How you doing, man?
What's up? I am tired but good. Lots of I walked 13 miles in 2 days.
Oh, damn.
Over the span of the show. So I'm pretty tired. I didn't realize how tired I was until I started getting up this morning and going again. And then I was like, I'm not not vibing this morning.
No.
And I had to kind of do some I had to do a little bit of grounding this morning, like get back, but then I had a couple of other meetings. So it's good. And then I came back to get on here, and X is, I don't know if you, I'm sure someone said something, but X is completely down. So I can't check anything
right now. Yeah.
Bro, it's
so
bad.
Interesting.
So bad right now.
Rick's been frozen on my screen here this whole time since I joined. I haven't seen him blink. So I hear him.
Right. Yeah, Rick, you are. Oh, now he just disappeared.
But
no, man. How was? We can hear you. We can't.
We can hear you. We just can't see you.
Yeah, your screen.
I need to restart OBS. My bad. I don't know what's going on. Well, not my bad. OBS is bad.
Yeah, OBS is bad. Crypto, tell us about BTC Vegas, man. I saw you walking around. Saw you ran to a few folks. I've never been. So for those who've never been, walk us through that. What was that experience like?
Damn, if you've never been to a Bitcoin maxi party.
Is that, yeah?
Dude, it was a pretty cool but crazy experience too.
Yeah.
95% of the people there have no idea what this is.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Okay, so everyone that I talked to at the convention really didn't know what Bitcoin is yet. They're
what?
And the other thing is too, I know this is going to sound crazy to people that have been in Bitcoin, but like you go into the conference rooms and it's really good stuff. It's insanely solid information, but it's all the same stuff we've all heard. This is very much an onboarding conference, which is great because all these people are talking about like these great minds or these billionaires are talking about what Bitcoin can do, what it's bringing. They're talking about what blockchain technology is. A lot of the people there that were in the audience and stuff, though, I was talking to a lot of people. Every time I'd ask anyone anything, they have no idea what another chain is. They have not much understanding of Bitcoin other than it's an asset reserve to be bought and held. And I even heard people saying, how do I walked by a guy that was on a phone call in this conference and he was on the phone saying, I don't know. I need you to figure out how to get Bitcoin on a wallet because I get the discount if the Bitcoin's on the wallet. And it was like an older white dude on the phone just talking to somebody, but so all the booths and the places there, Ledger, so for the tech stuff, which I can talk about a little bit too, awesome shit coming. Like Ledger's new Kindle looking screen that folds, that's like a touch screen it's really cool. But so if you bought these gadgets and these tech there, if you bought it with Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, you would actually get a big discount, like 40, 50, 60% off wallets.
Okay.
A lot of people did not know how to buy that stuff. They were like, how do I get Bitcoin on the wallet to get the discount? And then these people in the booths were explaining to these millionaires around this place talking about, they're just trying to figure out what this technology even is. And Bitcoin conference is heavily focused on mining, I noticed. Really? So a lot of everything there was miners, which I've installed a lot of ant miners. I've worked with a lot of the ant mining stuff. So I ended up having a cool talk with one booth just about they're getting into a lot of mining is going into the liquid cooling tanks now. Yeah. So that I kind of talked about that almost a year and a half ago to a lot of people, but it's starting to actually be mainstream for the cooling now. Everything is going to be submerged instead of on air cooling. It's just more efficient and stuff like that. So that was cool.
You should tell Twitter about liquid cooling so their shit doesn't burn down.
Yeah, we need their servers to stay up so we can share all the new news. But so there's a lot of cool tech, a lot of neat stuff. But for I found myself, I was happy that I know what I know about crypto while I was there. I answered a lot of questions. I had a couple of people interview me, walk up and ask me some, how long I had been in and stuff like that. So I was able to share some stories, but everyone else there, I saw people getting interviewed that didn't even know what it was. Like they were just there because it was they just know that someone told them to be there. And so people are just listening to this stuff, but it's a very big onboarding presence. It's really cool though to see that people are interested, because it was packed. Like there was a lot of people.
So what was the demographic like? Are we talking old people, young people? I mean, does it run the spectrum?
It's I'd have to say out of all, so that's the other thing too. I've been a part of a lot of conventions and a lot of conferences. I live out in Vegas, so I've gone to a lot of these things. It usually does have like a very specific target audience and things like that. This had all walks of life. It was insane. It was a lot of, older, well-off white people. You could tell that they've been doing, just businesses, a lot of corporations, and stuff like that. But then also a lot of young people. A lot of people that you could tell, like they took a whim going here, kind of like spending money to go learn, to figure it out. I sat next to one lady at one of the main stage at Nakamoto, and she was like, my boss sent me here.
That's cool.
I have no idea what this is. He just said that we need to figure it out for our business.
And what was the company that she was a part of? Do you know?
It was a construction company, but not construction. It was like what's the other word? They do like general contracting, like contracting. Okay. And they were looking at, he wanted her to be there for an investment thing. It had nothing to do with their business. He just said, basically told this lady that runs his desk and stuff, like, you need to go figure out what Bitcoin is to report back.
Yeah.
So she was trying to she's like, what is a blockchain? And I was like, what? I was like, wait, this person just asked me what a blockchain is. That's crazy.
So
but yeah. And a lot of younger people though too, kids too. People brought their children. There was a kids Bitcoin TV show. I actually got their information. I talked to a lot of booths that would love to be to like reach out onto the Web3 world, the crypto world. Something else that's crazy. A few of these companies, like that company in particular, they don't have wallets to like accept stuff. They just take cash. It's fiat. It's all USD based still. Like they don't like some of these vendors there were just USD collecting companies still. They didn't even take the crypto. Yeah, like they didn't necessarily promote crypto. It was like Square, Cash, that kind of thing, which is also really wild to me to notice about all of that.
You think it would be all crypto?
I tried to give an NFT away to a guy at the booth. He's like, I don't have a wallet. I was like, what? He's like, no, I don't. We just do like an NFT, like crypto NFT. I was like, dude, what the heck? So some of the interactions are very confusing to me.
Yeah.
With the way that some of the like maybe the companies sent people to work for their booth, and then those people at the booth don't know what crypto really is. It was just interesting.
Wow.
So that was just a side note. But to answer your main question, it was all walks of life. Like when I first went, I thought I was going to be suit and tie. So I dressed nice the first day, realized real quick that it was just cash, and then realized that you wear whatever you want. So I went in my kimono bottoms yesterday. Like they've got cranes on them. And I wore my Marvin Martian socks that were orange because Bitcoin, and I just rocked it the last day, and it was fun. So just all walks of life, dude. Super cool to see that though.
Crazy. So given that it is somewhat of an onboarding conference for new people, were there a lot of wallet projects there? Like was a MetaMask or a Phantom or a backpack? Were those types of projects there?
Phantom was not there, but I saw Kraken. I saw MetaMask. I saw obviously Ledger. There's a lot of hard wallets, ledgers that were there essentially. So there was a lot of physical tech there. There's a new one called, I got to get the card for it, Bit something. But basically you don't have a seed phrase with this. There's no seed phrase to this wallet, and it's fingerprint scan on the physical device.
Interesting.
And it holds it in like they have a security cloud-based system that's like automated, live protected, things like that. So they offer all this other. It was a way. How I saw this, basically they streamlined this to make a wallet that people that don't understand blockchain technology can use, which is what we've been talking about. You need that, right?
Right.
So in the wallet, the way that this wallet's set up, if it's compromised because it doesn't have a seed phrase, you pretty much reformat and go again. So it also can be reused if it gets compromised. It'll give you a new wallet. Because there's no seed phrase, and it's identification based, essentially. I'll get the company.
Based on your thumbprint?
Yeah, based on your biometrics, essentially, and it can link through the phone. And then I think you register that through their actual cloud database as well to like prove yourself, and you can put ID on that and stuff like that too. And that's how they keep the seed phrase away.
As a security guy, do you like that or not like that, having your biometrics on in the cloud and tied to this company and tied to your wallet and all that?
I never like any of that stuff personally, because that means you have to trust the other person's cloud data and storage. But what we talk about a lot, most people are not like me, right? So if they have a secure cloud environment and they do prove themselves, right, they can create that onboarding newbies and onboarding people that don't understand the technology but want to be involved in it, spend it, buy it, sell it, all that stuff.
Right.
Maybe this is a step into how we onboard those people and still create a safe space. But obviously, we have to know what their infrastructure would be like. So personally, I still like the key. Yeah, hold the keys to your castle. Have a nice ledger. Have a nice Trezor, which Trezor wasn't there. I'm disappointed in them. That's my favorite wallet. How are you guys missing the Bitcoin conference? No,
right.
So it was cool to see the other wallets there, to see that there is new tech. They're trying to figure out how do we make this onboarding easier for people that don't understand technology.
Right.
So.
And it's interesting that a lot of the boosts themselves weren't crypto native or weren't crypto versed, right? Where you said a lot of them are still taking fiat. So what about breakout sessions? Did you go to any breakout sessions? And if so, what was your favorite one?
I went to one breakout session that I did not realize what it was until I was in it. I was like walking through one of the halls and I went to a Coinbase one. They're just but the breakouts that I went to, one was Coinbase, one was Ledger. I left probably like 15, 20 minutes into most of these. If I noticed that the information was stuff I already knew, then I would just kind of roll out pretty quick. I didn't want to waste time. I also, I was there for Quack Life repping them. So the main goal there was to help bring awareness to what they're building and doing, which went really well. We actually met someone that's going to meet us in real life, talking about getting that sanctuary together and stuff for the ducks. Nice. So that'll be cool. But the breakout room, I went into one and it was like, it looked like they were playing Pong or Pong on a game. I was like, what is happening? I was like, oh, these look like retro games. And it was like, they were talking about gaming and blockchain technology. So I was like, oh, cool. I realized really quick in there, all of a sudden there was tons of Wi-Fis that seemed like sketchy. And I was like, yo, this is like, these are all spoofed. And so I just got a notification on my phone because I don't use Wi-Fi. So I got the notification and I was like, yo, why is there 20 Wi-Fi spots that are all like mirror? It's telling me they're mirrors. And I was like, this is weird. And I look at the front of this Jumbotron as I'm sitting in this hall and it's like, quirkiest hack wins. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in a room full of hackers. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize they had like little breakouts for that. So these guys were making funny they were doing a breakout session of who could make the quirkiest hack, but like within a time frame. Yeah. And they were just breaking shit in a weird way, like making apps or like a game run, weird. It just breaking stuff. So that was one of the ones. The Coinbase one that I went into, they were just really explaining the onboarding process of Coinbase, like how to start and what their job is in the space, which is to they say they're not centralized, but they're kind of a centralized. They're centralized. Right. They're basically like, we're the the facilitating the banking side of this, and we want to move further into just facilitating that security. And it's just, again, a lot of onboarding stuff, a lot of early stuff. I did have something really cool happen though. I walked out of that breakout room, and I walked in the hall, and Michael Saylor is standing directly in front of me, bro.
No
and
way.
I almost fangirled out for a sec.
I was just saying, did you get an
I was
Aussie?
like, oh shit. I was like, damn. First of all, he's not as tall as I thought he was. So that totally threw me off. I thought he was like way taller than me. Maybe when you like look up to people though, like you just assume they're like 7, 8 feet tall. But like no, he was in the hall, and it was on Wednesday. And if you guys have been following market at all this week, it was the beginning of sell-off day. Because we've kind of trickled down. So it's kind of that first dump in the morning on Wednesday that happened. And he's like walking through the hall, and I walk out of this room, and there's this girl that's just kind of being obnoxious to him. And you could tell she had a big presence online, but she's like, so I thought Bitcoin was going up, like chasing Michael Saylor, and you could tell he's like not about this part. Like, just get away from me. And she's kind of like razzing him.
Oh, Mika.
I don't
know. She's like a KOL.
Short Asian girl, dark hair.
Not Asian.
Almost cosplays.
She kind of looks. Yeah. She kind of looks like Asian, but maybe she is Asian. But I can actually pull up. Let me pull it up, bro.
She was kind of razzing him, so I might be in it if there's a video with her. But he walked by them, and he kind of security pushed past, and I was walking next to him for a sec. I just kept walking, and they didn't really push me away from like being near him. And so I was like, yo, thanks for everything you do for Bitcoin. And he just looked over and he said, no, it's for everybody. And I walked off like that was it. And then he went into the gaming. They had like their private meeting. If you guys haven't seen it on YouTube, go listen to it. But he did a Q&A that only had about 200 people. It was a private room, so they didn't give him the Nakamoto stage for this interview. It was more of an intimate one. And it was a really good talk he was answering questions just on his beliefs of Bitcoin, why he is so strongly in it, where he sees it going in the financial institution side. Like, he was talking about how he's not collecting Bitcoin just to have Bitcoin and win with it. He's trying to understand where the financial trade system can go from here on leveraging your business's money to be able to accrue. So that one was a really good, it was like a 30-minute interview on there, but wait, I think that's actually the person, bro.
Can I say hi to you really quick?
Wait, this is the GOAT.
Wait, say hi to the stream. Bitcoin. What's it going to?
Bitcoin is going up. It's going. Is it really?
Is it really? Come on.
Oh, I see you. I just saw you.
Wait, was I actually in there?
Yeah, go to the very 18 second or 19 second.
Could you hear the audio? No.
Yeah, we heard the audio clear. I did. Yeah, so that's the girl.
So annoying, bro.
Oh my God, that's Michael Saylor.
And after they cut this off, it was.
Wait, can I say hi to you really quick?
Wait, this is the GOAT.
Wait, say hi to the stream. Bitcoin. What's it going to?
Bitcoin is going up. It's going. Is it really?
Is it really? Come on.
There you are.
Oh shit, there's Stoner. Yeah, see, I went to go walk with Sailor.
That's hilarious.
He went viral, bro. He went viral. Look how many views.
176,000 views.
Like, come on.
Well, like, as soon as this ended, by the way.
I love that look.
I was so annoyed at her, bro.
Shut the fuck up.
I love that you can see it on my face that I'm annoyed at her.
Hilarious.
And that's why I walked out after with Sailor, and I was just like, "Yo, thanks for everything you do." And he just looked over, is like, "It's for everybody." And
that's so cool.
Took off. But
that look.
You're just glaring.
I really do look so annoyed.
Really?
Is it really? Come on.
Look, Michael Saylor's here,
the girl
bro.
says, "Is it going up?" I thought you said it was going up, and like as soon as she said,
Michael Saylor's here. Crypto Stoner isn't even interested. He's just glaring at this chick.
Hey, come on.
There goes Michael Saylor. Crypto Stoner's just.
Hey,
oh my God!
Shut the hell up.
And the thing is, too,
all-time high in 2025.
All-time high in 2025.
After this ended, she kept following us and them and everyone else like out that door, keep trying to get him to stop to interview, but he was heading over to the like actual interview. I was like, dude, why are you following? Like, stop. She was trying to get more content, but he just wasn't having it. So that's why. And it's funny because the video like shows that because it like cuts off at the end and like, but then there was another 15 seconds of her trying to like go initiate some kind of video that she just never got.
That is hilarious,
That
man.
is so funny, bro.
That's super funny, dude.
Were there any like Michael Saylor impersonators? Like, you know, you have Elvis impersonators. Like, was there anybody dressed like Michael Saylor?
Well, okay, dressed, yeah. In a dress standpoint, everybody
like
had
tie, or you know,
bro. There was a million orange ties.
And an orange, yeah.
Yeah, there is orange tie. Orange was definitely the color here.
Yeah.
Like, it might not look like it in this small room, but like it definitely, everybody had orange ties, orange socks, orange shoes, orange suits, orange. Yeah, I saw a dude that was just a full orange suit. Like, it was just burnt orange, like that Bitcoin orange, but it was just like he had a full suit head to toe.
Yeah, that's sick. Funny.
So,
At first I was thinking like orange spandex, just like, you know, like that green suit that people wear. It was like faceless.
Oh my god, I love that look, Crypto. That's
Rick's just Rick's just he's like, you're so mad. I don't like when people heckle. Heckling is like one of the most annoying things to me. And I was like, you could tell he was like just not about it too, because there was like a few seconds before that. She just I'm glad Rick knew who it was though. That's funny. And they did post
so
it.
Funny.
That was her.
Video proof. That's you. That's hilarious.
I need to send that to you, Stoner.
Yeah, send me that. That's funny.
But yeah, everyone was clowning on her like afterwards. So like the whole timeline's been clowning her because of it. So
that's crazy.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's funny because the Coinbase breakout was right behind that. That's why I walked out. And then Saylor walked out from the opposite side. So like two different hall sides. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh, I was like, yo, this guy looks like Saylor. And I couldn't tell at first. But then when I heard her start heckling him, I was like, oh shit, this is actually Saylor. I was like, damn. Yeah, that was crazy.
What was your biggest takeaway? Was your biggest takeaway that it was a lot of new people and it was an onboarding, or what was your biggest takeaway from it?
So I'd say my biggest takeaway personally was just the connections. Being able to, Lost Peanut was there with the Kwai network.
I saw the picture of you guys.
I talked to a couple of people at Kwai network that are working on their stuff, and you know, they're a pretty large project, and I had no idea. I really hadn't heard of them prior. So I met with Kwai Boss and Lost Peanut and I think his name, I have to double check. Forgive me if I'm wrong here, if he hears this ever, but JD, I think it was, or who, working with Kwai Network there. Mm-hmm. You know, they were right next to Peter Schiff. Their booth was actually, so apparently, I don't know. Hold on. I don't know if I'm supposed to say some of this. No, I think it was a public charter, so it could be traced anyways. Schiff and somebody from like the Kwai people, a couple of them had all sharing a flight out, but Peter Schiff was like helping to get them there. Oh, wow. Peter Schiff is very interesting, man. Seeing him in real life, I gained a little bit more respect from him. I did not like him at all until this past week, because he's just always a naysayer on Bitcoin. Yeah. I've learned that I think Schiff just likes to manipulate the market so you can get some good buy opportunities. He was right next to Kwai Network's booth, and he obviously you could tell that he enjoys them as people. He was very kind to everyone around. He doesn't get as heated and like angry as he's talking to people as he does on interviews. I feel like it's more of a camera thing, or a little bit there, but he's pretty humble dude. It was interesting to see him just interacting with people. So that was cool. But yeah, sorry, a little off topic there. The takeaway.
Why did he have a booth? What was he?
He's talking about gold. Just investing in gold, bro. Yeah,
that's wild, bro.
He's telling people still to buy gold, and that he's just pushing his agenda. Yeah. but he's talking with layer 2 networks. So he's got to be starting to, I don't know. It's very interesting, bro. I feel like that he just manipulates the market, honestly, in the sense of when he's on TV, national television, he knows that he has a cult following of people that hate him.
Right.
And so he he just uses that to make money. And just shit. He still shits on Bitcoin. You guys heard him this week. He literally went on stage and basically said that it's just a big gamble, again, on Wednesday. So he's just always naysaying the market. It's very interesting that he's at a Bitcoin conference.
Yeah.
I guess people do that, right? You go to, I don't know, when I used to work at Hard Rock, the porn convention was there, and Christians and evangelists come there to the show, and then they would go to those porn things, but tell people to go get saved by Jesus. So it's crazy to say, but that happens, right? Where you have complete opposites at a show.
Right.
Gold with Peter Schiff and Bitcoin, and he's such a naysayer of Bitcoin.
Right.
They almost, I feel like everyone benefits from having some cold and hot there.
Yeah.
I guess it's very interesting that has a booth there.
Interesting.
But yeah, and he's also doesn't come off as a douche when you're just talking to him. He's pretty polite and chill, and it's just very interesting seeing people off of camera versus on camera too, right? It's some people have a very different persona where I feel like I'm pretty much the same. I'm me. Yeah. You meet me off interviews or in the show, it's going to be the same me. So yeah, it was very interesting seeing him, but he was there.
So you've been to you obviously live in Vegas. You've been to a lot of conventions. Was this a big convention, a small convention? Was this your kind of standard convention size? How big was it? What are we talking about?
So that's a good question. It's going to be I know these answers keep being different, but it's a different convention. It was a medium to small convention.
Okay.
But they did a really good job there too. It didn't feel crazy, but there was way more people there than the amount of space they had given. But because of the size of Venetian, the way the Venetian's conference areas and halls are, it didn't feel congested.
Okay.
But you could walk around the entire convention and see all the stages, all the private halls in less than an hour.
Oh wow, that's quick.
But it is multiple floors too. So it's very crazy. You go up 2 stories and still see breakout rooms and hall rooms in this. So the main area for everyone was like medium size, but it didn't feel congested. I will say that there was just a sea of people at all times, though. The amount of people was very impressive. It was packed, like in the mid part of the day during the most dense parts. I have a video walking into like the main hall of the Venetian.
Yeah.
And you just can't see any floor. It's just heads all the way in, and everyone's just like packing in at the same time. It was massive scale of people, medium sized, things to go see.
So were there, I know it's a Bitcoin conference, but were there you said Coinbase was there. Was Base there? Were there L1s there? Were there NFT projects there? Did anything like that stand out to you? No?
Dude, nothing. They are very, there was a couple people that had that I had talked to, and they were cool people, and I went to give them an NFT, and they're like, I only have a Bitcoin wallet. And I was like, what does that even mean? What do you mean you only have I don't even have a Bitcoin only wallet. What does that mean? It's like someone telling me they have AOL as their email. Right. What do you mean? You only have AOL emails.
I do have an AOL email that still works. But there's
AOL. Does AOL email still work? I didn't know AOL email still work.
Yeah, don't lose your information to it. It's crazy trying to get in. I have a client that actually couldn't get in their AOL and still had one. And then I was like, you can't put AOL on this app. Yeah. This app doesn't have AOL. That's
too funny. Interesting. Okay.
It's not my primary.
That's not your Oh, that's cool, man. I saw you post some photos. I saw you, you met up with some folks. That's cool. That's exciting stuff. Um, do you want to do a little TA, or should we move on a little bit? I know you've been kind of running around all day.
No. Well, I will say that we'll keep it short.
Yeah.
We knew that the markets are going to be choppy.
Yeah.
You guys saw the tariff stuff come up this week with the all of a sudden it got turned off.
Right.
And then the market went wee, and then it got turned on, and the market went woo. It's manipulation at its finest. And Tricky's laughing because he knew exactly this shit was coming. We keep talking about that. They as soon as you think you've read the market, or you're like, okay, so we have until June. There's always a shakeup. There's always some, which is, this has never happened type things in history. So like them overturning the tariff and turning the tariffs off like that, they were like, they don't even have the right to do that. So they created manipulation in the market by, in my opinion, the judges of this that pull all these things over and say, no, that was illegal, and turn it off. That's manipulation, because it was already intact. Like, you shouldn't be able to just swing things on and off like that, and then the next morning turn it back on. So the reason I'm saying all that, manipulation is just heavy in the market right now. In my opinion, we're seeing less sell-off again than I thought that we would see from the negative news, because the tariffs are being pushed out longer now. So we are seeing sell-offs. I've been buying all week personally. Wednesday was the first day, that big drop. I put in like 10% of my, of what I was going to put in of the 100. Yep. And so I put that 10% in, and every time I see a more of a fall off, I'm like 80% back in. So I still have 20% of profits from the last time I took profits going back in. Just waiting to see kind of what the weekend plays out to be. We know that the market likes to move crazy on the weekends, but also we're seeing so much resilience in the overall market. That's why I'm mostly back in now myself, because I'm confident that even if we go down another 5, 10, 15% on Bitcoin, I'll put more of that last bit that I have in case in, and then we're going to be back off to the races anyways.
So we were talking about this before you jumped on, the whole the old phrase "sell in May, go away." Go away. Sell in May, go away. Is that? I mean, we're May 30th. We got another day left in the month. Are we going to see just sideways chop and for the next 3 months until September, until people come back from summer vacation, or do you think that we're going to make new all-time highs in July or August?
I'd say after being at the conference here, that's the other thing too. Hearing all of these hedge fund investors, the CEOs of these companies, everyone is insanely bullish and just screaming that it's still early to people that are just hearing about Bitcoin now. So in that sense, I think that we are seeing a lot of people be told to get into Bitcoin now, and that's going to take a couple more months. But I think Big Man is still onto something with the 4th of July celebration. You know what I'm talking about? And he said, like, I think that he just has he said that universe just put it in his mind. He's like, it's somewhere in July. So I think that, realistically, we should be June, July picking up steam in Bitcoin again, realistically, and then seeing that dominance wear off. We've been saying it for a few months now, but it's not July yet, so that's why we keep saying it. But that we will see Bitcoin most likely dominant into June, July, and then start to see that rally of the alt season start, where we start to see Ethereum and Solana take a little bit more of a dominance in the market. And overall, it's going to be Ethereum. I heard a lot of negative Ethereum talk, just in the sense, not even at the conference, just in like crypto sense. A lot of people have been like, well, Ethereum's dead, or it's not moving, and it's blah, blah, blah. Dude, Ethereum still has the majority secondary of market cap of all of crypto. So that is going to massively change in dominance soon. So once we see Bitcoin have its next leg up, in my opinion here, not financial advice, But into that July time, this is when we should see Bitcoin really still rallying. But also seeing Ethereum start to take that market cap and start to pull dominance away from Bitcoin as people start to profit take the tops there. And once we see, I'd say, a few days of actually seeing Ethereum hold dominance over Bitcoin's dominance, or seeing that dominance weakening on Bitcoin, and that stays, that's when we'll know the alt season's right around the corner. And Ethereum is most likely going to be one of the very first to have an explosive jump in alt season because it's Ethereum. And then everything else is going to start to build along with it. So yeah.
With Ethereum, I mean, are we talking L2s as well? Are we talking ApeChain and Base and Arbitrum and, you know, all the L2s coming up with it? Or do you think it's going to be more of a trickle down kind of effect?
Say that. Sorry, I was reading Bitcoin is a Muse. It was a big message, and I felt bad for not reading it, so I was reading that. Okay. Say your question one more time, and then I want to answer Muse. We're going to answer that after.
Is it with Ethereum? Are all the L2s going to pump as well, or do you think it's going to be a trickle down? Bitcoin pumps, a lesser pump with Ethereum, a lesser pump with the L2s, a lesser pump with whatever might be next, Solana or meme coins or whatever. Do you think it's kind of a step down pump, or do you think we're going to see a higher pump from some of these L2s and the meme coins to follow?
I think that this run that we're currently in is going to be in my opinion, just from what everyone else feels, and I think a lot of people are starting to share this sentiment too. And if anyone else on the panel with us here does too, shake your heads. But I think this is probably the last run that we have like parabolic booms just all over the place, and all these coins and projects mooning everywhere, like a lot of them, and just seeing dominance everywhere spread all over. So I think, and that's like a super cycle trend. And I still think that we're in a super cycle buildup because of the mass adoption appeal here, the chance of having a mass adoption boom and doubling the total market cap of crypto type thing. Yep. I think that also leads to an insanely volatile but booming cycle of meme coins and projects and anything, any token, any NFT. You know, there's just going to be trillions of dollars flying into the markets. And that's going to be, but that'll be the last time we see those booms.
Right.
After we see the big adoption of fiat coming into crypto, and that big mass adoption, I do think also that we could see easily 90%, or maybe even 90%. A lot of people say 99%, but I like to be a little bit more hopeful that 10% of projects can pull through. Yeah. But 90% or more of projects are all going to disappear once the global adoption comes in, because if you didn't have utility, strong community, or some kind of a use case, then you were just going to be obsolete and deleted, essentially just go to a zero. You know, so that's kind of my outlook on all of that. I think we're in a super cycle that everything could still have a massive run like we saw in 2021, but even bigger. But then after that, everything just kind of slows down. Volatility slows down. We start to follow more of a NASDAQ, S&P trail on the Bitcoin side. Yep. You know, there's going to be the here and there's, like a penny stock where a new company goes live and takes off and you 1000x, you know, but it's going to be a needle in a double haystack at that point when it does happen down the road, you know. So that's just kind of my overall feeling on the short term and long term of where we're going.
I kind of feel the same way. Rick, what do we got up on screen here?
So this is an announcement that I just found interesting. So Revolut look like they're going to be relaunching their crypto services in the US.
For those in the US, I know what it is only because I have friends in the UK. But what is Revolut?
So it's an online bank. You can just it's very easy to open the bank account, and then it's got crypto linked to it. And then you have your cards, your crypto cards, like stored on there. So, for example, I have one, like my one there. So I can
Yeah,
pay for stuff.
Is that Doge?
Yeah, well, it's just a Doge picture, but
Yeah.
you could have any. They give you an option to put whatever you want on the card, but you can use it like Apple Pay. So you can hold crypto in your wallet and then just use Apple Pay to pay for things. You know, you could just have Bitcoin. That could be your currency. So any USD you get in, you convert it to Bitcoin, and then when you go to use Apple Pay, it just converts it at the rate that it is at that minute when you make a purchase. So I think something like this is very good for like mass onboarding. I think that Revolut's very accessible to people, and you know, if it does open up crypto to a lot of the US, it could be very positive, I think.
Yeah, that just reminded me, crypto, of a question I had for you. Was there a lot of talk about the Lightning Network and Bitcoin as far as payment rails, or was it primarily Bitcoin as a reserve asset, a la gold? What was the sentiment? Okay, interesting.
It was about 50-50. There's a lot of Lightning talk and how the network works and how to pay. They help you onboard. There's like right when you walk in, there is an area that'll kind of help you with stuff.
Okay.
In that sense, and they have like merchant stuff, but they also explain that, and then they take payments for Bitcoin there. But the rest of it, the talks on stage, it was very much a asset reserve talk and a leverage talk. So there a lot of people, that was the one difference I'd say from a lot of talks in history past, is now businesses are like, wait, we can leverage our Bitcoin against our business and make more. Okay, hold on. So that was the bigger talk, and Michael Saylor's proving that, and that's why people are talking about it now.
Right,
is because he's proving it can work. So now everyone on stage is talking about, wait, how does this work? So they're explaining asset reserve, leveraging your Bitcoin into your business, or leveraging your business onto Bitcoin, and taking that growth because it's outpacing the S&P 500. It's outpacing any history of investment, and so your business can massively profit off of reinvesting itself. Or using Bitcoin as a leverage point. So it's very, that was the difference in that side. But yeah, a lot, other than that, there's still a lot of Lightning talk, the network and paying. And there was the people that took Bitcoin, that's how they took it.
Right.
Like I said, there's only a few, there was some stands that didn't take crypto as a payment, but so it was interesting to see that. And also real quick, just because I don't forget, Muse with the talk about safety and educating people, onboarding people, you know, that is something we take serious. So just to touch on that for a sec, with everything that's going on in crypto and the mass adoption and the people coming in and the money coming in, we know that we're also going to see more scams. Even over the week, we saw that little pump, right, over the last 7 days. I don't know how many pump tokens I saw come up. As soon as the charts were looking good for those couple days, there's just new CAs all over X and Twitter, people getting rug pulled already. And it's like, dude, it's been 24 hours of a new all-time high. Like, how do you guys get like, you know, so go ahead, Rick.
There's a problem. Sorry, I just before, I don't want to end this. I've just gone and looked. Nick, this show did not post on your timeline.
Yeah, I saw that too. It shows that I'm live, but it's not it's not showing anything on the timeline.
Yeah, so you can do it. Go to go to Premium on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Go to Media Studio.
Yes.
Go to the top producer.
Producer at the top. Got it.
Click on the stream.
It says I'm live.
Yeah, click on the stream.
Okay.
And then there's a link under the stream. Copy that link, and then make a post with that link, and it will bring it up like a video.
We are live, even though we're ending in 2 minutes.
Yeah, but just still, so people can see it. Like, that's why I thought let me mention it before, because we get a lot of people watching this after. Like in the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
we get quite a lot of people tuning in. So yeah, but also just a couple of other things that I wanted to just talk about. One is the OpenSea. I don't know if you guys saw their airdrop XP thing is live now.
Yeah, talk through that because you mentioned that earlier, and talk through what that is and how that works.
So let me share my screen. Let me just see why is it glitching out here.
Moonbeam, we love you too. Okay, shout out to Moonbeam over there. And we meme coin fan while you're getting your screen.
Oh, this is how I buy my crypto. So yeah, he's the one that told me about Revolut.
Okay.
All right, are you sharing your screen? No.
He said it was giving him an issue.
So yeah, when you log in, you'll see it will come up. But this is basically what they're saying. So OS2 is now the default experience. When you go to OpenSea now, it will ask you, do you want the trader view or the pro view? I prefer the pro view, but it's up to you. And then you log in, and it will give you like a screen like this. And basically, there's all these different challenges that you have to do, daily challenges for XP. Like this: purchase $5 of a token on Solana, create or edit any OpenSea gallery, purchase any NFT on any chain, and you get that XP.
Yeah.
And then it also gives you retroactive awards, and then you've got your loyalty here on the side as well, which obviously, you know, it's a view like exclusively listing on OpenSea. But yeah, so you get all of this, and that's going to unlock the C token. So the C token, there's all different tiers as well of what you're doing. And then yeah, just he was talking about the C token here at the end. It's not like announced yet a day. Oh yeah, the foundation to release the C token as you receive and experience it. The team is moving with urgency to ensure C has thoughtful mechanics, reason to hold it, and long-term alignment with community expectation. Past history will be rewarded with its own allocation of C, so that's separate from this. And yeah, I mean, I think, you know, especially with like the retroactive awards, I think a lot of us will get something out of this. So, you know, but it's another TGE, so I expect it, like everything else, to just mass dump on Unlock.
Interesting. Okay, so they're gamifying people using their platform, learning about their platform, do this XP, and then the airdrop that'll follow from it. That's kind of cool.
And then you know what it's like getting rugged, because everyone will dump it right away. It's all the full experience.
That part is a little. They need to have some kind of a safety for that. I feel like, though, or some kind of a anti-dump.
It should be a time. It should be a time.
Take it.
A normal waterfall that slowly over time it unlocks. So every month you get, you know, a 12% allocation, and then like it's over. So,
but yeah, go and do these rewards, because obviously you don't want to miss out on that XP.
That's
when
true.
it's just, some of it's free. Some of the stuff is just like, yesterday I did one, and it was just to share a post. The other one was make a gallery with your NFTs, and I got 250 XP for that. So it's only just started today or yesterday, so you can get on like every day and just go and do those rewards. At least you'll get something for the airdrop that's coming out, you know. So also your retroactive rewards, if that's also included, it might be okay.
This is there's still a lot of good headlines, Rick, that we can talk about. I want to pick one or two of them.
The Loud token is
let's talk about Loud, yeah, because that is interesting.
So I want to show you guys the Loud. It has the mind share. These guys have captured 70% mind share on X, which is it's insane. To do that is like it's honestly, it's ridiculous. but at the moment it's down actually. So it's called Stay Loud, and all it is really they're giving rewards to people that speak about them. They're obviously going to get an airdrop of the Loud token, and people are speculating that it's a shit ton of money. I've muted the word on my timeline. Just
have you?
Look, you've muted posts from this account because it's just too much. Honestly, like you know what I don't. It literally rewards the smallest amount of people with a bunch of liquidity. So it's just like the top people on X that have like big followings that are going to make some, like I'm sure other people will also make something, but I mean, the life-changing money is only going to be like the top 20 people, I feel. So this is a bit about it. If you guys want to go and read about it, it was built on Kato AI, which is the big platform that rewards people for speaking about them. Priority access to the pre-sale top 1,000 yappers. So they had like this whole thing running for the last 2 months. So people are speculating how much this 0.2 is going to be worth, 0.2 Sol. And 1,000 wallets whitelisted. So this
so you have to put in Sol?
Yeah, you have to buy. It's a pre-sale. So it's not even like an airdrop.
I had no idea, dude. I thought it was. I hate pre-sales, to be honest.
And look how many people are tuning into these spaces. So it's crazy because in my mind, I'm like, bro, so few people are going to get rewarded for this. But anyway, like, there was some speculation here that he did yesterday. So the top 1,000 people on Stay Loud will receive a 0.2 Sol allocation for the pre-sale. Oh, so they'll receive an allocation, I guess.
Okay.
But that's still a 0.2 allocation for the pre-sale. So they still have to buy it. How much your allocation will be worth? So people are speculating it's going to go to like between 50 and 100. So it could be worth like somewhere between here.
Interesting.
I mean, if it goes, look, you basically get 20 tokens for 0.2 during pre-sale. So if it goes even higher, 200 million market cap, that's 45 grand they're making off 0.2.
If you're in the top 1,000.
Correct. And I mean, that's the thing, isn't it?
It's very pyramid scheming. Feels
very pyramid scheming.
Why we like to flip the pyramid upside down, not
I mean, isn't it all a Ponzi, bro? Isn't it all a damn Ponzi?
Yeah.
That like
Murat says, every L1 is really just a meme coin in disguise.
Fact.
And then also just wanted to speak about what was it? There was one more thing here that I wanted to just mention.
What about Trump? The Trump media doing a Bitcoin reserve strategy, 2.3 billion. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's not I don't even know if there's enough Bitcoin on the market for all of this.
Yeah, I know.
People are wanting to buy. It's and that goes to something that Sailors talked about before too, though, is when it happens there is no more Bitcoin and everyone's still trying to buy it. That's where the price, that mass adoption price
parabolic.
It's just like $1 million Bitcoin type scenario because there is no more.
Yeah. And then, Rick, talk through this. I saw this as well.
Yeah, so the UK, this is he's not the MP, the president or anything. He's just in the House of Commons, but he's basically introducing a strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. So if that passes, because obviously that's how it works in the UK, they'll all vote on it. If that passes, that's going to be massive. This will be another absolute banger if this goes through. So there's all of this news, this bullish news that's still happening within the market, and I think that sometimes we get like shook out because of a small 3% pullback. I think it's always just good to look at it. It is just that sell in May thing that kind of worries me. And then also FTX is paying out over $5 billion in stable coins tomorrow. And it's going to take 1 to 3 days. So if you guys are expecting something from FTX, might be getting a small stimmy there. And then 2% of stablecoin supply hitting the market at once.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Might see some sell-off. So what other countries are talking about a Bitcoin reserve strategy? Is China, is Germany, is Japan, is India? I mean, obviously, United Kingdom, we just talked about France, Italy, Canada. Those are the, Brazil, the top 10 economies of the world. Who else is, because if the US adopts a Bitcoin reserve strategy and then the United Kingdom, is it going to be basically a gold rush to gobble up as much Bitcoin as you can? And is that going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not 6 to 12 months, maybe. It depends. The red tape and manipulation can make anything longer. But I that's a lot of what I heard at the conference was that too, I guess, in the lingerings of things was, and when you ask the question too, is anyone talking about reserve? Every country's doing it. I get whether they're public about it or not, totally different story. But we even know Germany's buying again, which I mean, they took a massive loss at like 70K and then, yeah, or like 68, whatever it was when Germany had people posted that the Germany wallet like dumped all of it. They sold all their Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
At a loss, and then now they're buying it back from what I've understood. But the thing that's going to happen too is, there's only 20 million Bitcoin. We know that, right? That can ever be had. So out of that 20 million Bitcoin that can ever be had, that not even a fractional of a Bitcoin would be for every person in the world. So not everyone can own a Bitcoin.
Right.
And that's kind of the race right now. Like you said, that gold rush is going to happen. The exchanges already run short of things. We saw what happened when Coinbase, they have billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars running through there. But because the supply, when Solana was really going hard during the pump fund craze, remember Solana, they didn't have money to send. There was exchanges running out of their own Solana to send to make transactions happen. And the same thing is going to happen with everything else, Bitcoin too, but even more on a grander scale, because it's even smaller supply to be had. And that's the asset reserve value of it. And that's why the fractionalization of an asset reserve is also key in everything that we're doing. Plus you guys have sats. Like if you're a Bitcoin maxi too, you really stack your Satoshis, right? So you're actually paying in micro fractions, and that's kind of the Bitcoin grand scale of what they talk about anyways, is that Bitcoin would have sats, which would then create that Bitcoin has its reserve, but then you have micro fractions, which are your fiat to spend, kind of like Shiba Inu's ecosystem is trying to set up too. So it's very interesting, but there's not enough Bitcoin. So right now is still early. And like you're saying, Nick, once every country really realizes that you can't have enough, it's just going to disappear off exchanges instantly.
So you just made the point. There's only 20 million available, right? If Satoshi's wallet's gone, not gone, but I don't think people appreciate that enough, right? 20 million, and that's it, around the whole freaking world, around the globe. So if you're one of 20 million people that holds one Bitcoin, not even 20 million people, but if you're one of however many institutions or people that hold one Bitcoin, you're in the minority. You're going to be in the minority in 5 or 10 years. I don't know that you're going to be able to buy a Bitcoin in 5 or 10 years, one Bitcoin. Right, because it might be 500,000 or it might be $1 million. So at its just base level, if you look at it from a scarcity component, a collectibles component, I mean, you hold one of 20 million, that's going to be a big deal in 10 or 15 or 20 years. So that part of it always kind of fascinated me, just the scarcity aspect and the collectible aspect of it, if you will. All right, let's finish on this, Rick. What do we got?
So just two quick things. What you guys were talking about here, there is a stat already that's been out for a while. BlackRock did say if every millionaire just in the US alone asked their financial advisor to get them one Bitcoin, there wouldn't be enough. So that's just in the US alone. So you think about worldwide, it's absolutely insane. And then the last thing,
real quick on that though, then does it become a status symbol, right? If you're a millionaire that has a Bitcoin, is that status against somebody that doesn't, or a billionaire, or a country, or
the
whatever?
ultimate,
right?
I think the ultimate, like it will become the ultimate.
I mean, think about art, like a Picasso, right? If you own a Picasso, that's a status symbol. In 10 or 15 or 20 years, if you own one Bitcoin, is that a status symbol? Like, are you part of this upper echelon of society if you own one Bitcoin?
Right.
I don't know, man. It's an interesting way to think about it.
I think so too.
Right, it's going to be historic.
You might not tell anyone.
Yeah, don't tell anyone that you own a Bitcoin, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the last thing that I wanted to touch on was this story here. If you guys haven't checked it out, go to CoffeeZilla's YouTube and watch it. It's a story about a New York crypto kidnapping. 28-year-old gets tortured for 3 weeks, and the criminals take Polaroids and print T-shirts.
Print T-shirts?
Bro, this is like, honestly, this is going to be on Netflix for sure. Look, they found Polaroid photos of the kidnapped man with a gun held to his head and T-shirts printed with photos of the kidnapped man with a cocaine pipe in his mouth.
God.
Bro, look, when they searched the townhouse, they recovered a saw, cocaine, chicken wire, body armor, night vision goggles, ballistic helmets, and firearms ammunition, according to prosecutors.
That's insane. So this guy was like a Bitcoin billionaire, or
this is the kid here.
Oh wow. What is going on?
Right. If you read the story, it's so crazy. And it just it seems to be happening like every week now that like crypto people are getting kidnapped. Like it's
you guys got to be careful, and that goes back to what Muse was saying earlier. And we can kind of, I know you want to wrap up, so hopefully this can kind of help wrap us up. But just security we talk about a lot. It's important. Muse brought it up earlier. As the market gets crazy and as money comes in, people are going to make a lot of money. You need to understand how to present yourself when you have large sums of money, which is these people aren't loud about the way they move. You need to be vigilant of your surroundings. The whole time at the convention, as much as I know that there's a lot of happy-go-lucky and fun, my eyes and head are on a swivel the entire time. Don't think that I'm not watching my back, my shoulders. Like I understand the world.
We could.
Yeah, you saw. Rick saw. Rick got to see exactly what you go look if you push the wrong button. But keep your guys' stuff safe.
I want to get a T-shirt with a screenshot of that. Crypto stoner with a freaking side-eye glare.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that they definitely stopped walking towards him because of Crypto Stoner's look. Like they looked like they were gonna go after Michael Saylor, but Crypto Stoner turned out.
I was keeping Saylor safe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, real quick though, just on the security side, because it's important. Keep your wallets safe. Don't put your wallets into online posts for people to see. Keep that stuff in DMs. And don't brag. If you're one of these people that does well and you hit something and you do really well, bragging is what leads. I don't know if that person and that was bragging, but somebody knew how much money that person had. So be careful who you talk to, who you tell like numbers to, and things of that nature. That kind of stuff triggers things in other people's minds to try and take or do something in that situation. So just be safe with what you're doing. Be careful. And make sure you same thing on the digital side. Keep your wallet safe. There's going to, as this market pumps, which we are in bull cycle, when this all takes back off, there's going to be rugs everywhere, scams everywhere. Make sure you follow people like Tricky Buddha, Rick Starr, and myself and Genius, people that stay in the know of what's going on. We research projects. We make sure that we're trying to keep ourselves safe, which in turn keeps you guys safe. So make sure you guys are being vigilant and everything.
Agreed. All right, guys, that's it for this Friday. As always, guys, we want this to be a show for you, about things that you're interested in. So if you have interesting projects or interesting people that you want us to talk to and have up on the show, please DM any one of us on stage here. Next week, actually, speaking of, we talked a lot about the Bitcoin conference. Next week, we are having Leaf Brands on. Leaf Brands is a cannabis brand that has adopted a Bitcoin reserve strategy. They were actually at Bitcoin Vegas, and I believe Micah was one of the speakers. He had a breakout session where he was talking to businesses about Bitcoin, using Bitcoin as a Bitcoin reserve strategy. So that should be a very interesting conversation next week, merging cannabis and crypto, cannabis and Bitcoin. So I'm excited for that. Hoping to have Mootropica on in a couple weeks. Their project launches is looking to launch tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of good stuff happening this summer. I know we talk a lot about sell in May and go away, but I think there's still a lot of interesting stuff happening in this space. A lot of interesting projects are coming on board or launching or expanding or things like that. So I'm excited for the next couple months and see what happens and see if we can hit on new all-time highs with Bitcoin and see where the second half of 2025 takes us. That's it for me. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Why don't you do a few parting words, and then we'll let everybody go for the week.
No, not all at once. I'll go first. We're still in dollar cost average territory in investments. Just make sure if you guys are investing and looking for buys, Solana's down 9% on the week, Doge 13% on the week. So you've got sales right now of stuff. When I look at those weeks, when you have a week that starts looking red, that's where my dollar cost average starts to look good. So make sure you guys are keeping those stop losses and profit margins close on all your, trades, because you don't want to get stomped out. The volatility swings are going to be wild. We know that the tariffs are getting thrown around, so the price will too. That's all I have. Thank you guys for always supporting us. Thank you for those of you that found me at the Bitcoin conference and got NFTs. It was absolutely amazing to support Quack Life and their IRL vision, along with their digital vision and Web3 here. So thank you also to Quack Life for sending me out to this and being a part of that, facilitating that. It was really cool. It's just really cool to connect in real life. It's important that we keep connecting in real life with more crypto-minded people so that we can expand our vision and mind together, but share that to people in the real world that have never seen X, that have never been on crypto Twitter. That is one of the most important things. And Peanut, huge on that, because Peanut is very, very big about that human contact interaction. And that's why it was such an honor really to hang out with him and talk, is he really has that focus on we need to be personable in real life thing. And that is important. And I saw that at the convention. So the more that we get to do this, that you get to meet up with Crypto Stoner at conventions and find me for NFTs, this is the beginning of great stuff we're creating in Web3. So I'm just happy to be here with you guys for another week of it.
Absolutely.
Tricky? You want to go, Tricky? Well, I can go.
Stay positive. Have a good weekend. We got lots of stuff coming the whole weekend. I think we're basically live all the time now. There's a Green Pill Collective space every day for at least 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, no, we're killing it. We're killing it at the moment. Actually, Mama Bear just had a question, a Google Doc. I'll send you that, Mama Bear. But yeah, thanks, guys. On Thursday, I have the NFC Lisbon thing going on.
Oh yeah, okay, nice.
Bro, OpenSea are going to be there. Ton are going to be there. There's some big players at the event. So, bro, I'm just going to do what Crypto Stoner did, bro. Just go out there and just network, bro. Go meet people, do some onboarding. You know, just really be out there. So those 2 days, ladies and gentlemen, Rickstar might not be online for a big change. Probably like it's the 2 days of the year I'm probably not online for. So yeah, looking forward to that. Speech is all ready to go. And yeah, that's it, guys. Tomorrow I've got Sunday we're going to do Shiba. Saturday later we've got Mama Bear Space. But yeah, other than that, nothing much. Just want to say thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, I have one more before we go alpha. I forgot. Pencils are down on Solana Deads, and the launch mint date is the 6th officially. Pencils are down. Work is in. So Solana's dead launch
next Friday.
So next Friday we're going to be launching. We're going to be doing spaces, and
we're going to be live next Friday.
We're going to be live next Friday talking about Solana Deads. But we do have pencils down. All art is in. We're just finalizing the last bit of trades, so we're locked in, and I'm excited.
Nice, man. Congrats. Awesome. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.
Peace.
See ya. Bye.